What's up, guys?
On this week's show...
Dun, 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 dun.
Ready or not, here I come.
And finish him to completion
All that and more on this episode
of One Giant Leap for Geeks.
Cue the music.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for
Geeks. Welcome to another episode of OG LFG, where we talk about movies, video games, and all things in geek culture. I'm your host, Mike C. Squared, and with me is my co-host, DJ Leonell.
Hey!
Before we get started, I want to let you know, if you enjoy the show, tell some friends about us. Share us on your social media. Whatever you choose to do, just know that you're helping us let others know about the best damn podcast they probably never heard of. Now, if you want to talk to us, the show is on Twitter at GiantLeap4Geeks. You can get a hold of our resident DJ Mel at Froggy Beaver, and Benoit is at Benoit Gaming. That's BENWAH Gaming.
If you're like me and around my age, you're a sucker for nostalgia, especially 80s and 90s. I'm talking music, movies, television, games, just pop culture as a whole. So, if you're from mid-Michigan or going to be traveling to the area, I suggest you check out Rewind and Birch Run. Rewind is a vintage-inspired blast from the past with not just cool trinkets and novelty items, but dope gear to rock as well. I'm talking shirts, jackets, caps, and even sneakers. Retro styles to make your inner child smile. Absolutely, positively, definitely check out Rewind. You might even see your boy Benoit copping something old school or shooting the breeze with the owner, Tyler. Rewind is right off of I-75, exit 136 in the Birch Run Premium Outlets, Section E, next to Crocs.
I got nothing. I was trying to think of something funny for what you've been doing, but I'm just like,
You should have done it in the bad Christian Bale Batman voice. What you been doing?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that
the
was
where are
lame.
the drugs going? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was not good at all.
That was
no.
not good. I
No.
said, okay, I already said it was bad Batman voice, and I just made it worse. So,
Yeah, that didn't help it. But anyway, what you been doing?
Oh, preparing for my camping trip.
Ooh, sounds exciting.
Do. 4 days of no technology, no work, just a ice chest full of beer and some tubes and a tent. Sounds great.
I'm jealous.
For
All right.
those of you who don't know, ice chest is a cooler. I don't know. There's like 6 different names for it.
We don't understand that Michigan twang you talking with. What is that? Ice chest I don't know what the accent is.
I don't know. Whatever. Yes. Next week we are going camping.
How many days?
For 4.
Nice.
Ty is going up.
Wait, and you're excited for that?
Hell yeah, I'm excited for that.
I mean, I like the idea of camping for 4 days.
You
though?
don't strike me as the camping type.
What's that supposed to mean?
You don't strike me as the camping type.
I mean, I like it for a couple days, like 2, 3 tops. Anything longer than that, and it's like I need my PlayStation or my phone or something.
See, T-Money's going up there Tuesday morning to set up our tents.
Okay.
And I'm going up there with the dog and Lexi on Wednesday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And we will be there until Sunday afternoon.
Oh.
So, yay.
Wow.
We'll get there and the campfire will be on. T-Money will have some hot dogs cooked. Thursday the 4th, we're going tubing.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be exciting. That's an all-day adventure. And then going to watch the fireworks and go get some Dairy Queen. And then Friday, we're just going to hang out at the campground and go swim. And then Saturday, we'll tube again.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Isn't going to Dairy Queen like breaking the whole camping experience though?
No,
you like
because we
make your own ice cream or something? I don't know how that
we
works.
eat the ice cream while we're on the beach at the fireworks.
Okay, but you're going to civilization and buying fast food. Isn't that kind of breaking the thing?
No.
I feel like it is.
That's not how that works. Because I'm still sleeping in a tent. I'm
feel
still
like
on
you're
an
in
air
denial.
bed. Still have my food in an ice chest.
Mhm.
Campfire, dirty feet.
She's
Peeing
like, no,
in a hole.
So you don't understand. I'm going to eat the ice cream with a stick out of a leaf.
Yeah.
and then that'll make it legit. I don't know why I've equated camping to like caveman life or some shit. I don't know. It's like, motherfucker, I'm going camping, not back in time.
I would say
Jesus.
we got a hand wash station and everything. Look at
wow.
us.
Oh, you got like the thing like the olden days where like you could wash your clothes on that like ribbed thing? You know what I'm talking about?
The washboard?
Yeah.
No.
See, I don't know what the fuck that's called. See?
Oh, I don't have a wash bin or a washboard. I'm just going to bring them home and wash them in my washer.
And you got like the filter to sift for gold nuggets in the water and shit?
No gold nuggets.
I don't know why.
Maybe Jimmy Hoffa bones, but no, not gold nuggets.
Again, in my mind, going camping is going back in time, apparently.
Yeah.
You're going to churn butter and shit?
No.
No, is that not what you do?
I'm going to buy butter.
Oh. From like the local merchant, right?
Oh, hell no. We're buying it down here and taking it with
she
us.
said, no, bitch, we are taking, I can't believe it's not butter or
Okay, so
margarine.
The town that we camp in is very, very small.
Gotcha.
It probably the equivalent of where you live.
Okay.
And gas or grocery store prices there are very, very high.
Well, yeah, it's a small town.
So we're gonna buy everything before we go and take it with us.
Plus, too, if it's a tourist trap to kind of town, and they
Yeah.
usually are more expensive anyway.
Yeah.
I just always feel bad for people that live there. I'm like, man, y'all getting fucked.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh well.
So yeah, but that's exciting. I'm very, very ready for it.
No, it sounds exciting. Well, I am happy for you and your time traveling experience. I wish you well in your journey.
It's actually funny because we'll post next week's episode as I'm going up there.
Okay.
So, hooray for that.
Yeah. Oh, surprise. I apparently work Wednesday next week, so I'm probably going to have to record something on Sunday prior. So you get an extra week off again.
Okay.
Yeah, unless you're coming over here Sunday. She said, fuck no. Hell no.
I'm staying up there Sunday as long as I possibly can.
All right. Fair enough.
So, yeah.
No worries. So you get extra.
I get an extra week off from the show.
Anyway.
What about you? What you been doing?
A lot, actually. So let's see. Over the weekend, I got my ears pierced, re-pierced.
Noticed that.
I got a tattoo.
I noticed that.
Another tattoo. It's not my first. And
Where'd you go? Did you go electric chair?
yes, electric chair. Not the one out here in Clio, though. The one on Linden Road in Foot.
Okay.
And because they couldn't take us at the one in Clio. Anyway, I don't give a shit. I don't even know what these places are. But one other thing I did was I created us a merch store.
Ooh.
On teespring.com, 1J link for geeks. You can go there currently if you are interested, and the URL will be in the description, so I'm not going to pull it up right now. But if you are interested, we do have some shirts with the podcast logo on it, which we already personally own.
Yes, we do.
And I had some people on Instagram saying that they like the shirt and might be interested in getting it. So if you do want a shirt of the podcast, totally go to teespring.com and get one. I made a shirt.
Yes,
I made a shirt that I had been playing with the idea for a while, and I put it out on Instagram and Twitter, just, with the link if anybody was interested in Facebook and all that. And it's that meme of Keanu Reeves from that movie where he's like leaning to the side and he's got his hands up in the air, kind of doing that hey kind of thing. And I put Keanu Sans under it, and it was a whole thing. I like drew it out and like Photoshop and shit and colored it and put little anime lines in the background. It was sweet. Got taken down, copyright claim. So apparently I learned you cannot use a celebrity's likeness without their permission and sell merchandise of it.
Oh.
So that's a no-no, apparently. So
I wondered what happened to that, because I
Yeah.
wanted to buy one of those.
Yeah, so I'm not getting sued or going to jail, I hope. And Keanu, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
Honest
disrespect
mistake,
your
dude.
likeness.
You didn't
Yeah,
know.
please don't come shoot me. I love dogs.
You
and
know
all
what would
that
be
shit.
cool, though, is if he endorsed it and he, got a hold of us on the show. And
I
would
feel
be
like Keanu Reeves would totally rock that shirt.
I know he would.
I feel like he would do it.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. He's very humble, though, so maybe not. I mean, if he thought it was funny, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I've seen him showing up at people's weddings.
Yeah, it's true. Keanu, have your people call my people,
Yes.
and we'll get this figured out. Don't worry.
Trust me. That would
I just
be
did a whole
the coolest
episode
thing.
about your best movie, The Matrix, last week. So come on, give me something. But no, other than that,
and I happen to be one of your biggest fans.
right. Like
Not stalker creepy, just big fan.
Right, like, not like I would kill you in your sleep or kidnap you, creepy. Just, I'll suck your dick if you ask me to, kind of, fan. Whatever.
Yeah. All right.
That being said, though, I've been busy doing that stuff, and I am coming up with some other designs for the merch store. Hopefully nothing that's going to get me sued, per se, but we'll see. So, again, if you're interested, we are on Teespring, so yeah, and the link will be in the description, yada, yada, yada. Okay, anyway.
Cool.
Moving on.
Jesus Christ, this is so basic. No, you cannot use the likeness of a celebrity and post it on a t-shirt and sell it. This so-called merch store is already a shit show. I hope nobody ordered one before it was taken down.
If I'm honest, I'll just make you cry. And I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie to you. I promise, now's not the right time. Yeah, I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie to you.
So, there was a movie trailer that I seen. I don't know what is with these accents today. There was a movie trailer.
Jamaican man.
Yeah, I know.
Do we have any Jamaican fans? I hope not. I mean, I hope
they
that
gonna
we
be
do.
offended. They said,
But
these
if we do
motherfuckers.
have any Jamaican fans, I'm sorry.
All right, the Bumbaclad boy talking. I don't know. Anyway, so there was this trailer that flew under my radar. I don't know anything about this movie at all.
It hasn't popped up on anything I've been on either. So,
But it's Ready or Not,
yes.
and it is basically. It looks like Get Out with more white people. Get Out
God.
with all white people and no black people.
Oh my god.
Because, okay, that or like maybe The Purge or something like that.
Kinda.
Because it's kind of like this. It's another bottle film where it all takes place in like this one location, and basically, from what I can see, the premise is this girl is marrying into this like rich family who have some kind of weird rituals and shit that they do, and they're basically making her think that they're playing hide and go seek, but they're really hunting her to kill her, to sacrifice her for some reason, because they think something bad's gonna happen to them if they don't.
That would be so weird. Like, nobody'd be able to be welcomed into their family. Be like, cool, welcome in, but we gotta kill you.
But see, this is my thing, though. So does that just mean everybody's, like, inbred or some shit? Because it's like, there's other people in that family, so how did these people...
I don't know, because they don't give them enough time to...
Or, like, did they survive, or what? It's like, because they haven't even, as far as I know, even consummated the marriage yet, like, went on a honeymoon.
No, she's still in her damn wedding dress.
Exactly, right. So it's like, like, how do y'all just adopt motherfuckers into the family? Like, how does that work exactly?
Well, I mean, she said, how do I win? Just survive till dawn, so maybe...
Yeah, maybe the other people have survived it, but shit, I don't know. You got a whole,
I don't know, with the way that these motherfuckers was...
Yeah, they were fucking
people
shit up, yeah. That was one of the intriguing things about it, though, to me, was that it's not like a straight-up horror movie. It looks like a horror comedy.
It kind of had, like, a Happy Death Day
kind of,
vibe
something like that.
to it.
Yeah, because there's a lot of, like, comedic shit to the kills. Like, they shoot the maid in the head and shit at the beginning of the trailer, and then the other lady gets shot in the mouth with the crossbow and shit because the one girl doesn't know how to work it. Or you see the bride in the hallway, and the one girl's like freaking out and shooting like everything but her and shit. So it has like a jokey kind of haha, but at the same time, there's gonna be death and blood and fire and car crashes and all kind of shit.
Beating the shit out of somebody.
Yeah, she was fucking somebody up, man. She was like, fuck you and your family. She was like hitting her with a rock or some shit. And I was like, holy shit. I don't know anybody in the cast except one guy. I think he's Adam Brody. I think it might be the guy's name.
Okay.
This is the crack research that we do here on One Generally for Geeks.
Well, our listeners should expect nothing less.
Right. The main actress, they said her name was something Weaving. I'm like, I wonder if that's Hugo Weaving's daughter. Like, I wanted to see, does he have kids?
Could.
I don't know. That would be funny because I just talked about The Matrix and he was Agent Smith in that, so it'd be cool if his daughter was in this movie. I don't know. That being said, though, right when it was over, I looked at A-Train and I was like, we're going to go watch this movie. And she was like, oh no, this shit looks fucked up. I was like, I know, but it looks so good.
I'm sure that would be T-Money's response as well.
Hell yeah. I mean, I was going to say, we all went and seen Halloween together and we had a ball in that shit. Like,
yeah, we did.
Like,
we always go see them all together. Well,
no, not always. No.
Like the big ones.
But yeah, we try to.
We try to, you know. We try to go see the big ones together.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween, Avengers.
Both the Avengers. Yeah.
Yeah. We did go see both of them.
Yeah. It was a year apart. Yep. That's why I made that joke. I was like, this time next year, be ready. But no, I'm really intrigued by the premise. I am curious because I feel this way, but do you think they show too much?
I hope that they don't.
Because
they have quite a few hot points in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And I really hope that that's not, let's grab all the great ones and stick it in this 2-minute trailer.
Yeah, they showed a bunch of characters die. Granted, no, they don't show how it ends, but I kind of just didn't want to know what the twist was, I guess. But then it's like, well, how do you sell the movie? It's like, and they get married and their family's weird. Like, you got to kind of go like, hey, they're going to try and kill her and shit. Like what, how do you...
They could have cut it off at the beginning when they pop out the card and it says hide and seek, and then they all start to pull the weapons and then cut it off there.
Okay.
They could have cut it right there, and then that would have still left some mystery to the movie, and also it would have been like, well, what the hell is this about? Yeah,
and just had a bunch of flashes of some of the shit like towards the end,
like some blood on the walls or her screaming or something like that.
That, you know what? Hire DJ Melly Mel to make y'all next trailer. She's like, I can do it. I'm all over this shit.
Cool. Works for me.
That being said, it comes out in August, so yet another horror movie not coming out in October, but hey.
I want to know what the fuck is coming out in October.
Nothing, apparently.
We don't have Chucky. We don't
Frozen
have...
2.
Fuck.
The complete opposite of horror movie. No, I don't think it's coming out.
No, that one comes out in November.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
holiday season.
They need something.
Yeah, no, because Child's Play, that just came out, which that was just this weekend, which I've been hearing not good things about.
I've heard the same. Yeah. And I saw another trailer for it right before it was released, and I was like, ooh.
I don't know why they designed his face like that.
His face looks like he got ran over.
I know. It's
I don't like it, and I haven't even seen the movie yet.
It's goddamn Greek tragedy.
The only thing that is saving this and wanting me to go see it is the damn laugh.
Yeah, Mark Hamill,
Mark Hamill, that's it. And I know he's out there trolling somewhere.
Oh, yeah, of course he is. That's what he does.
He's been trolling since he came out.
But yeah, no, it comes out in August. I'm looking forward to it, and you may get a review of this if we get a chance to go see it. But anyway, moving on.
You were close, Master. Fun fact, Samara Weaving's uncle is film and theatre actor Hugo Weaving. They have a familial resemblance, so I can see why you would think he's her father.
Would you like to go to gay hell? A little backstory to people who may not know. Michigan is very underwhelming. I'll say that. There's not a whole lot here. It's like, hey, we got Detroit, and you can come drink some lead water in Flint. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of attractions
up north,
here.
But that's a summer thing.
Again, unless people like you like going back in time and camping and shit. Nobody gives a shit. It's like pure Michigan, like pure bullshit. Potholes. We got
lots of potholes.
Hey man, if you want to go, or Mackinac Island, I guess.
Yeah, but you gotta have money.
Have you ever want to go to a place where you gotta ride bicycles everywhere and or walk? That's
Smell
not New York
ass.
or some shit. Yeah, yeah. Then come to Mackinac Island where there's horse shit in the middle of the street. And
I like Mackinac Island, but it's expensive and smells like horses. So
yeah. Would you like to take a ferry over to this place?
Do you want to drive on this big ass bridge?
You're right, dude. Man, fuck that noise. Hell no. But yeah, so Michigan's pretty underwhelming. There's not a whole lot here. We're probably the coolest thing in Michigan, to be honest.
For real. It's true.
And that's not saying much.
Shut up. We're awesome.
But that being said, there is one fun little thing about living in Michigan. We have a town called Hell. It is Hell, Michigan. H-E double hockey sticks. Hell. And apparently a YouTuber decided in protest of Donald Trump not wanting to let pride flags fly at the U.S. Embassy during Pride Month, which June is Pride Month, that he went out and bought the town of Hell, Michigan, and renamed it Gay Hell, Michigan, in some kind of protest. Now, I don't know per se what that's doing. Like, I don't think Donald Trump like woke up in the middle of the night and was like, that fucking queer made it gay hell. He's like, damn him. Like, I'm gonna tweet about this shit. Like, I don't think he gives a fuck. Oh, he's gonna he's gonna name that town Gay Hell. Oh, I'm gonna send out a mean tweet about him. It's gonna be huge. Like, I don't think he necessarily cares, or anybody's going to be like, you're right, we should fly the pride flag at the U.S. Embassy because you named this town Gay Hell. Like, I don't know what.
I don't know what
he's
his
trying to
mission
bring
is.
attention to something, I guess, by doing this. Do your thing. I'm not hating on it. I just don't know. I feel like maybe you could have. I mean, I'd have did like Trump as a dick or some shit, like, you know, like a fuck Trump Michigan, like that.
There you go.
Probably more on the nose, I guess. But that being said, I'm getting this from NBCNews.com. It says Daniel, who was 25, announced Tuesday that he bought the town of Hell and officially renamed it to Gay Hell. He said it is an act of protest against the Trump administration's recent rejection of requests from U.S. embassies to fly the rainbow flag, a symbol of gay pride, during the month of June in celebration of the LGBTQ Pride Month. The town is about 15 miles northwest of Ann Arbor and is believed to have a population of 70 fucking people. I've lived in Michigan my whole fucking life. I didn't know Hell was so small.
Yeah.
I'm like, see, kids, you don't have to go to church because apparently Hell can only fit like 70 people. So it's like, hey, all this shit about your parents saying you're going to go burn in hell, like, it's fine. Like, we're going to be like stacking on top of each other. Like,
I always liked the joke when we were younger. They're like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll do that when hell freezes over. It'd be like, fun fact, it does every winter.
Oh my God.
I was that kid.
Yeah, I fucking believe it. But, he said ahead of Pride Month, Trump's administration put a ban on embassies flying pride flags. Daniel tweeted, "So as of today, I am now the owner of Hell, Michigan. I bought the whole town. In my first act as owner, I have renamed my town to Gay Hell, Michigan. The only flags allowed to fly are pride flags." Now, Daniel then went on to tell NBC News in a phone interview Monday that his flag rule is intended to be a joke and that there would not be a ban on other flags. Because I was finna say, like, ooh, you finna piss somebody's fuck off. The comedian and musician, who has more than 500,000 YouTube subscribers, said the acquisition was intended to enhance his political portfolio by engaging his followers. "I have a young audience who is 16 to 24 who would not be involved in politics if it wasn't in a funny or meme way," Daniel said. "I'm just trying to have fun and get my audience politically active." He also hopes it inspires people to visit Michigan. Because somebody somewhere is like, hey, I want to go to Gay Hell.
Actually, I live with somebody who said they were going to go to Gay Hell.
Exactly.
So as soon as this story broke, she's like, oh my God.
If for no other reason to just go and be like, can I get 2 tickets to Gay Hell, please? Thank you. Like, I think that'd make it worth it, if no other reason. But they go on to say Daniel, who is a California resident, declined to disclose how much it cost to purchase Gay Hell from his previous owner, John Colon, and said he will be temporary owner. The town is a 5-acre commercial property. It's only 5 fucking acres, the whole town. No wonder there's only 70 people. Commercial property, and was on the market for $900,000 in 2016, according to Detroit Free Press. This isn't the first time Daniel has gone to Hell to make a political statement. In August of 2017, he paid $100 to become mayor of Hell for a day, banned heterosexuality, and was then impeached. He said his desire to become mayor was a joke in response to President Donald Trump's restriction on travel to the United States from a handful of Muslim countries.
He's not really doing anything.
What, again?
I mean, he is.
It's to bring awareness more so than
he's
making a statement per se. Yeah.
But his statement isn't.
My takeaway from this is this. I don't even really care all that much about
the people
what
in Hell,
message.
Michigan must have nothing to do.
Well, I'm even like, look, do your thing. Like, I'm not trying to hate on your cause, whatever.
Right.
I'm more interested in the fact that, one, I didn't know you could just buy a town in America. Like, is that a thing?
I don't know. We have to look into that, because if so,
Clearly.
I definitely would.
Look, I'm
not
gonna
be
save up some.
opposed to
I'm
having my
buying
own
that
town.
fucking Hell, Michigan next. Fuck that. I mean, he's gonna be the temporary owner. I'm buying the shit after he done with it. I want my own fucking town. I'm gonna be Supreme Emperor Mike C. Square. Fuck the bullshit. But not only that, I didn't know that you could buy a whole town for $1 million. That's it.
Pretty cheap.
Well, to be fair, it's 5 fucking acres. If you ask me for anything more than that, I'd be like, I'm getting ripped off in this deal. I feel like.
Still, that's still pretty cheap.
And 70 people, it's like, how does your town even function with less than 100 people? Like, what kind of economy do you got? How many of y'all motherfuckers fucking y'all relatives in this goddamn
I
town?
say there were just over 70 people in my graduating class in the small town that I go
I'm
camping
pretty sure
at.
there's 70 people on this block.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. There's more than 70 people in my complex.
That's what I'm just like, I just can't even believe like
That's
how the
it.
ecosystem
Our whole
works there.
complex is the town of gay hell.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Our live studio audience is stumped today.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we forgot to mention we're recording in front of a live studio audience of one person, but still. It is live, so. But my thing is, one, I didn't know that you could buy an American town.
Sure.
Like, just buy it. 2.
Where do you go to purchase said town?
Right, I know, it's Secretary of State. You go there like, I'm going to get my license renewed, some new tags on my car, and I would like to buy this town, please.
I bet you could do it online, because you can do the first 2 things online.
Yeah, that's true.
Secretary
you just go to a little kiosk and
yep,
shit, and it's
yep.
just like, oh, I'd like to buy the town, please. Just put a little check in there, like, thank you. Yeah, give you the deed to the town, like the key to the city or whatever. Second, I didn't know that you could buy a town in any country for that cheap.
Right.
And third, I am officially announcing our One Giant Leap for Geeks Patreon because I would like to buy Gay Hell or whatever we're gonna call it. After Mr. Daniel is done with it, so yeah. But yeah, that's
Giant
all I
Geeks
got.
hell?
No.
No.
Hell for Geeks or something.
Hell
I
for
don't know.
geese.
One Giant Leap to Hell. Who knows?
Oh, that's it. Right there.
Yep, okay.
One giant leap to hell.
That's what we're going
That's
with.
it. That's how I like it.
But yeah, no, I just thought that was funny because I live in Michigan and I did not realize all these little fun facts about Hell, Michigan. Like, I thought it was like, I don't know, like the size of at least Swartz Creek or some shit. Like, I don't know. I didn't know it was just like a big ass field with like 70 people living. I'm pretty sure I had more people at my fucking 21st birthday party than that entire town houses.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at that point, wouldn't you just get absorbed into the nearest township? Like, you can't, like, we're not even finna let you even name your town or try to be a separate county line or anything like that. Like, you got 70 people. Like, what you gonna do about it? Like, what, get mad? Like, I got more people on my paper route than you got living in this fucking town.
I have more people on my Facebook.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not one of those people that's got like thousands
Thousands
and
of
thousands.
friends,
No,
yeah.
I have less than 500 people on my Facebook.
Still.
I actually think I have less than 400 people on my Facebook.
Still, that's like 3 times the amount of Hell, Michigan. You have 3 Hell, Michigans on your Facebook page.
Pretty much.
But
That's
no, I'm
crazy.
dead serious, though. If you are from Hell, Michigan, and you hear this, please contact me on some social media platform because I want to know, have you ever slept with a relative and a cousin? Not on purpose, but just because the pool of people to date is so small. Like, y'all had to have some kind of cross-pollination, something going on somewhere in there. Unless you, like, go 2
Honestly,
towns
that's when
over.
the people are like, yep, nope. Gotta go within a 70-mile radius because I gotta get
Pretty
out of
much.
here.
Like, if you find me on Tinder, it's like I'm setting my search preferences like 100 miles away plus.
Right.
But anyway, moving on.
I feel like he would have done better to purchase Gaylord, Michigan instead and put a hyphen in the name, so it could have been called Gaylord, Michigan. Or perhaps that would have been too on the nose.
It's that time again for America's #1 show, Dumb Shit of the Week. That's right, Dumb Shit of the Week is a show where DJ Melly Mel finds dumb shit and we talk about it. Want your submission on the show? Find us on Twitter at GiantLeap4Geek, so you can email us at officialoglfg@gmail.com. Now here's your host, DJ Melly Mel.
Thank you. All right, so dumb shit is my baby, kind of, sort of.
No, it's
kind
yours.
of. I have free reign over it. I can say what I want, pretty much.
You breastfed it and burp it and all that shit.
That's getting weird. I never tell Mike what's on dumb shit until the moment of.
No.
Because I enjoy
unless we get a submission from somebody, I have never know what it's going to be.
Yep. And I enjoy the shock and awe. Now, as our title suggests, One Giant Leap for Geeks. So it's safe to say that we talk about some geek related material.
Okay.
From time to time.
Mm-hmm. Occasionally.
We're
not talking about politics.
Well,
right.
Kind of mix the two at this
Bernie
point.
Sanders wants to eliminate the college tuition debt now.
Okay. According to our friends at Fox News.
Ooh. So we are going to talk about politics.
Yeah, just a little bit.
All right.
I'm going to dabble.
Okay.
And I'm getting this from businessinsider.com.
Okay.
So, pretty legit source.
So, business and politics.
Yes.
All right.
Fox News panel is upset because Wonder Woman isn't American enough.
Okay. Go ahead. No, go ahead. All right.
It turns out
America! Fuck yeah! Wonder Woman just burst out and shit.
Fox News host Neil Cavato and his guests on Friday had major issues with Wonder Woman. During a panel discussion, the Your World with Neil Cavato host and his guests questioned the patriotism of the current version of the legendary DC comic character.
Wonder Woman.
So,
okay, let me guess. Because she's not wearing star-spangled underwear, she's not patriotic enough now? Is that
some
what it
are
is?
calling it less American because her outfit isn't red, white, and blue anymore.
Get the fuck...
To appeal to foreign audiences, it has very little reference to America at all.
Yeah,
for the record...
she's an Amazonian.
Yep, for the record, Wonder Woman is an Amazonian warrior princess who is on a quest to protect all of humankind, not just Americans.
No.
I think nowadays, sadly, money trumps patriotism. And especially recently...
Is this a quote from...
Yeah, this is a guest, Dion Baya.
Okay.
She says, especially recently, not sure. Dion Baya said, especially recently, I feel personally that we are not really very patriotic in the country sense.
Huh?
They want our movies to succeed internationally, so they're going to dial it back. There's more, but I'm not gonna read all this shit. First of all,
go ahead.
Wonder Woman is a comic, or started out as.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And now is a movie
in
the DCU, which happens to be the only good one next to Aquaman.
I didn't tell you I finally watched Aquaman.
Yeah?
We'll talk about it eventually.
Shortly.
But
cool.
Yeah.
So, why do we have to localize it? Like, our superheroes are not just in the States.
That is true.
You know,
that is true.
The comics are not just sold stateside.
That is true. I feel. Are you done? Because I don't want to step on you.
I just let it go.
Yeah, it's stupid. I feel like
you're about to play devil's advocate here.
I usually do, but okay. Kinda. I get why they're kind of saying that because the Linda Carter show from back in the day, she had the Star Spangled, fucking outfit, and the original incarnation of Wonder Woman was like that, and she was like that for quite some time. But my thing is this: that was in the era of we were fighting World War II and all that kind of shit. So everybody was like super rah-rah, go America, and, you know, patriotism and, you know, enlist in the army, or probably were getting drafted still at that time. So you don't have a fucking choice. Like, unless you fucking got one leg or some shit, you finna go kill somebody or get killed. So I get why a lot of the golden era superheroes were very uber patriotic. Like, you had Superman with the True Justice American way, you had Wonder Woman, you had Captain America, you know, all that kind of shit. I'm sure Batman probably had an American flag cape at one point. Like, who fucking knows? But
I actually saw a Batman figurine that somebody got very upset about because he was in a rainbow costume. And they were like, oh my God, Batman's gone gay, blah, blah, blah.
That was a thing.
It wasn't, though. It was from the 60s.
I know, but it was a specific thing because he was fighting some kind of villain and the colors were doing some...
Yeah.
It was fucking comic books, man.
Right.
Like, what do you want? Like,
well, there
shut up.
was an action figure that was made, and
Yeah.
somebody was throwing some hoopla. They said, oh, well, this is because Batman's supporting the
And her
LGBTQ.
Batman and one of them queers.
No, it was because
My
Batman was in
don't-
the 60s.
My Batman he can't even see color. All he sees is black.
Fuck.
Black and white.
Oh
For the
my
white man.
Oh
the
my
white
God.
straight man.
Just no.
America. No, that being said, I am of the mind that I get why, though, because they are right to a point. It is about money because they want to be able to appeal to the Chinese market, which is the biggest, you know, movie market in the world, and they are like uber patriotic over there. And not that they don't like or dislike America or some shit like that, contrary to, you know, semi-recent popular belief. You know, it's the government there is like, we don't want to fetishize or lift up any other country besides our own.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's really hard to get foreign films put into the Chinese market. So if you're going to go over there, you got to kind of just be like country neutral,
right?
To a degree. Like, you're not, you know, jacking all off on the American flag and, you know, there's fucking eagle picking up the Declaration of Independence in the background or some shit.
Got the olive branch.
Right. The clouds look like George Washington's wig or some shit. Like, you can't, you know. And I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, of all the things y'all could be talking about on Fox News right now, who gives a shit? Are they also mad because Gail Gadot is fucking of Middle Eastern descent? Is that
actually?
Are they pissed off about that too? Linda Carter. She was the best Wonder Woman.
Goes
she
to
was
say,
wild.
It seems that Cavato and his guests are in the minority in the U.S. about how people feel about this new Wonder Woman.
Or isn't she like Israeli? I think
she's Israeli.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So, but I'm like, still, it's like who? What does this matter? Who cares? Like, why are you?
I don't know.
I get pissed off. I do this podcast for free,
right?
And they get paid to bitch about Wonder Woman not being patriotic enough. Like, get the fuck. Oh my God, we fucking up. I need to just start spouting some racist, bigoted, xenophobic, misogynistic bullshit, and then I too can have a #1 podcasting show or television gig.
The fact that you don't do that is what, in my book, puts you above them. Because I listen to our show.
Yeah, that's true.
The last time I watched Fox News, I was being forced.
It plays in my gym a lot, and it's very frustrating because, like, when I'm on the treadmill, it's just like the talking heads are on Fox, and I'm just like, turn your music up louder. Don't pay attention to it.
I'll say, turn your music up and close your eyes, because
and that's not. And please don't take this as us shitting on, because I try to stay pretty apolitical on the podcast because I don't want to offend nobody. Because I want this to just be a quote unquote, I'm going to use a beta cuck snowflake term here, but a safe space from all that kind of shit. Because I just want to talk about movies and video games and shit. Like, I don't care what your fucking politics is. Like, unless you are like a fucking neo-Nazi or some shit, I don't care. If you want to listen to the podcast, do it. I don't want to alienate nobody. Right. So it's whatever. I mean, clearly, you know, you beta cuck, you know, liberal snowflake, whatever, you could probably tell my politics, but it's like, you know, but it's like, come on, man. Even if the furthest right person has got to be sitting here going like, are you fucking serious? Like, this is what we're talking about? Like, y'all can't be talking about, like, I don't know, the the fucking Iran conflict that might be arising here soon, or the fuck is going on in Afghanistan, something, the trade war with China, like anything else. They just ran out of shit, and they're just like,
we just need to fill some space. Oh, let's attack
Wonder Woman ain't American enough. Like, you got us. Good job. This is another fucking attempt at the left trying to poison the mind of your children with our beta cuck snowflake.
That's like the fourth time.
I know. Because if you realize how many times I see that in comment sections, you beta cuck. It's like, I guess, man. I have never heard the term cuck used so frequently, except in the last like 3 years. I'm like, that is a very specific thing. Like, I guess, man.
I've never heard it out of context of like the lifestyle that it comes from.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm like
I'm
still fascinated to this day. I'm like, how do you relate that? Like, liberals want their wives fucked by other men. Like, I guess. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some conservative people who do that shit too, but I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
They want Wesley Pipes, some big black dude, to come fuck their wife, and it's like, all right.
Whatever makes them happy, I guess.
Anyway. But yes, this is stupid.
So this definitely classifies as dumb shit.
Yes.
Wonder Woman is made up. She is a fictional character. I'm sorry. She comes from I
didn't hear none of these motherfuckers on Fox News bitching when they made fucking Captain America a Hydra sleeper agent and shit. They were fucking Nazis and shit, but they ain't say nothing about that bullshit. But Wonder Woman ain't wearing flag panties no more, so now we mad.
No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't know. This is dumb. I'm sorry. Yes. Wonder Woman, she's a fictional character for a comic book who comes from an Amazonian island, and she's not even a real person. Like, even in the comics, she's not a real person. She's freaking made. Not.
Yeah, they didn't make her from clay.
Yeah,
or
like dust.
Zeus came on some sand or some right. shit, and then she just came to life. Whatever the fuck happened.
Yeah, come on, no. I'm with you. This is a safe space, quote unquote. Let's be real here. We got better shit to think about than Wonder Woman's nationality or her representation of a nation. Just let her be a badass who fights some crime and wears a really skimpy outfit. Can we do that?
Oh, speaking of which, did you see the poster for Wonder Woman 84?
Not yet.
It looks bad. Other people like it. There's a bunch of like colors in it and shit, and people are like, oh, it's representing pride or whatever. And I'm like, I guess. Like, I don't give a shit about that. Her costume looks ugly. I don't like the new costume. Not because her fucking booty cheeks ain't hanging out every time she does a backflip or some shit, but it's just like she's in like, you know that armor that they put Aquaman in Justice League? It's like they just made one of those for her. And I was just like, I'm not feeling it. I bet you they saw that shit. Oh, they made Wonder Woman a lesbian queer, and she ain't white, and she ain't American.
I want to say they had issues with Ruby Rose, too.
Remember
we covered that? Yeah. They said that she wasn't lesbian enough to play a lesbian?
Yeah, no, but we talked about the trailer today, and I was actually quite upset at her in that show. Not her specifically, because she's just the actress. She don't write this shit, but... Because they say some shit where she breaks into Wayne Tower, and she finds the Batsuit. We're getting way off topic. But she finds the Batsuit, and she's like, I need you to fix it. And like Lucius Fox's son, I guess, is there, and he's like, that suit is literally perfection. And she's like, it will be when it fits a woman. And I was like, ugh, like, why you, like, you could have just said when it fits me. Like, don't make it like, oh, because it ain't got a pussy pocket in it. I don't know what that means. It's not perfection, I guess. I don't know. Do you see her costume?
Yes, yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I told you she looks like Aquaman from Justice League.
She does.
Yep,
what the hell?
Called it.
Anyway,
Fox News is stupid.
Fox News is dumb.
Wonder Woman is Amazonian,
fake
and not real.
Just let it be
and deal with it. And she's basically some jizz and sand from Zeus mixed together. Like, she's not even a fucking real person.
Public service announcement, kids. Stay smart. Just don't be so judgy of everything.
They will be now.
I know. That's all I got.
Okay.
What have they done to Wonder Woman? Next they will have Superman not be a symbol of American patriotism. Oh wait. We already did that years ago.
I know that you feel some type of way, girl. You don't say it to my face, oh. Just say it to my face. Say it to my face. I know that you feel some type of way, girl. You don't say it to my face, oh. Just say it to my face. Say it to my face.
This is important.
Yes.
I believe it was 2 days ago.
Okay.
As of recording this, 30 years ago to the day, the original Batman 1989 feature film starring Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson and Kim Basinger, directed by Tim Burton, was released in theaters, and it forever changed movies for all of time. Okay,
and
maybe
podcasts.
not. Maybe not quite that big a deal, but it was a really big deal because at that time, the only other successful superhero movie that had came out was Christopher Reeve's Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in the 70s, and that kind of burned out in the sequels. They got progressively worse as it went on.
Yes, they did.
And so they kind of was just like, yeah, we're not fucking with this superhero movie bullshit. And up until that point, as far as, unless you were a comics fan, the general zeitgeist of the population was Batman was Adam West.
Yes.
You know, that was what they knew as Batman. And it wasn't until Tim Burton did his take on it with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson that people was like, oh shit, Batman is fucking sweet. Up until that point, you know, motherfuckers was thinking of like him doing the Bat-Watusi and shit, and you know, fucking, you know, he'd punch people when he'd say Pam and Blow and Kablooey, and it's like, you know, like holy jelly beans, Batman, or some silly shit like that. So that was what people thought of Batman as up until this movie.
He was a joke.
Yeah, this changed a lot of people's perceptions, and we're gonna do a discussion about it sometime soon here because I didn't even realize it's 30 years ago. I was on top of the whole Matrix turning 20 thing, but not on top of Batman.
I would say I knew that
30.
Batman as a character turned 80 this year.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But I guess I didn't realize that, you know, Keaton's Batman turned 30.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And honestly,
although I don't think about myself turning 30, so
true. Yeah, but you weren't born in 89 though.
I was born in 91. Close enough. I'll be 30
but,
in 2 years.
Yes, but you're not 30 now though.
No,
so
but I think about, you know,
she's like, in my mind, I'm
almost 30,
22
okay?
or some shit.
No, God, I don't want to be 22 again.
But I mean, that being said though, I know some people have had, we'll say, issues with the movie. It is not a great representation of Batman per se. I love the movie for what it is, but if you're going to be a comic book purist, that is not Batman. Batman does not put Uzis on his Batmobile and blow up chemical plants with a bunch of villains in it and shit. Batman would have not shot the fucking grappling hook on Joker's leg and attached it to the gargoyle that made him fall to his death at the end of the movie. Batman wouldn't have had missiles on the bat plane shooting him at the parade and blowing up all kind of shit. Like, that's a lot of non-Batman-y shit that he does in there. Batman's a ninja and a detective, and he is kind of none of those things in the Tim Burton movie. He does a little karate at the end in the clock tower, a little bit. Oh, and he fights the dude with the swords.
And he does a little bit of detective work when he's in the Batcave.
Yeah,
when he's figuring
watches
out the combination with the Joker's chemicals.
Yeah, okay, there is
but
that.
not enough to be like, Batman's a detective.
Yeah, right.
No,
yeah,
he's got his over the ear glasses, and he just like looks off into the darkness as you know, Vicky Vale's explaining everything. He's like, this is how it is.
And then he does some other weird shit in the movie where they literally try to make him into a bat. He like sleeps hanging upside down for some weird reason, and it's like, I feel like that was a bit much. Like, you didn't need to have that part in there. Or the thing where he what else does he do that's like weird for no apparent reason?
Where he, like, flaps his cape out, and
that was more for like intimidation and shit. Because I mean, he's dressed like a fucking bat.
No, I mean when he's like knocking Vicky Vale out.
Yeah, that was just a scene transition. It was corny and stupid. I get it, but no.
I'm gonna say I'm with you though. 89 Batman is the reason that I love Batman.
Oh yeah,
to
for
begin
sure.
with. However, if you go back and look at it, for it being late 80s, early 90s, there's some things that we could have done different.
Yeah, I mean, some of the acting and directing choices are weird. My favorite scene almost in that whole movie is when he confronts Jack Nicholson in Vicky Vale's apartment, and he does the "you want to get nuts" shit. Like,
come on, let's get nuts.
Like, I love that shit, but it's so weird and random because
that whole scene is weird and random.
I get it. What he was trying to quote unquote do is get the Joker to think that he killed somebody in the apartment so he would leave and leave Vicky alone. But for all he knew, he could have just took Vicky with him,
right,
and left. Like, that, him shooting you doesn't mean like, oh shit, we gotta hurry up and get out of here before the police come. That just means, okay, I shot this dude, grab this bitch, and let's go. Like, he could have kidnapped her right then and there, but he doesn't, thankfully, because he like takes the little perfume tray and puts it in his jacket, so when he gets shot with the bullet, it'll catch it. Which I'm just like, how do you know that he just wasn't going to shoot you in the face?
Right.
But, you know,
how do you know he's going to shoot you on that one side?
Right, I know, like, he's going to shoot me right in the heart. Or he could have blew your fucking brains out, Bruce. Like, that could have also happened. So, there are things in the movie where I'm just like, I don't know if I would have went there. But some of, like, the best lines in movie history came from that. You want to get nuts. You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight. Do I look like I'm joking? What's that other line? I'm Batman. Like, it's iconic, but yet still cheesy. But I love it. I think part of it's nostalgia because I grew up watching that movie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was born in '86, so I was 3 when that came out. So by the time I was 5, I was watching Batman '89, and by the time I was like 7, I was watching Batman Returns. So. I'm just fascinated, and like looking back at some stuff, like, because it turned 30, some other information's come out. Do you know that they wanted Steven Seagal to play fucking Batman at first? And like Tim Burton had to fight to let them cast Michael Keaton, because up until this point, all he had done was like Mr. Mom or some shit.
Yeah.
You know, he was like the comedian dude who maybe was kind of funny, but not really all that much. And you were like, you want him to play?
I really am glad that Steven Seagal did not become Batman, because that's
that would have been rough.
Scary.
That would have been rough.
We'd have had like,
you think it's bad now?
I would say we'd have had the Batman massacre mess that we have now in '89.
True, and really, really, really stiff bad acting too. Yeah. Steven Seagal is a horrible actor.
He is very bad.
That too, but who is it? To compare, at that time, casting Michael Keaton as Batman would be equivalent to it'd be like say taking a dude from Twilight and making him Batman, and nobody would ever do that.
Oh wait, we're already doing that.
No. A better comparison would almost be like if we took who's the? It would almost be like if you made Seth Rogen Batman.
Okay.
Or Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
somebody like
that.
An
Adam Sandler as Batman.
Yeah, because it's like you would be like, oh,
our live studio audience is cringing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, like I don't know about that one. Like that's rough. But I mean, you know, I feel like it was a good choice, and he saw something in Keaton that he thought would transfer good to that character. I always liked Keaton's Batman. I didn't necessarily care for his Bruce Wayne. His Bruce Wayne was alright.
Yeah.
He was just kind of there. You know, I was like, whatever. He didn't have a lot of personality. I mean, besides the you want to get nuts shit, that was about the, most animated he got in the whole thing, but a lot of times he's just, like you said, just staring off and shit. It's like, when he sees the Joker, when they're outside, like, the city hall or whatever, and they're, like, shooting up the thing because he throws the pin in the dude's throat, and he's just staring and shit because he recognizes him from him killing his parents. Younger. And he gets, like, shot in the arm, and he's just still just walking, and it's just like, do something, man. Like, emote something. No, all right. Just stare off, like, all right. And I already made this joke, like, way back in, like, the second episode of the podcast, but Michael Keaton's hair is just a fucking mess in the movies, man. Like, I don't know what kind of Jerry curl, widow's peak shit he got going on, but I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, he had that fluff.
Yeah. But the most important thing about that movie is we got probably, arguably, the best Joker we've probably ever had.
Agreed.
In Jack Nicholson.
Agreed.
Now, I know people love doing some Heath Ledger. I know you're not one of them. I know some people love Mark Hamill's interpretation from
Which
Batman
I do.
Animated Series, which
I do.
We are both fans.
Yes.
I don't know anybody. I've seen people on the internet, but I don't know anybody personally that loves Jared Leto's Joker. Unless you just are a really big 30 Seconds from Mars fan, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know anybody personally. I've seen
people defend him, but I'm just like,
but...
did you watch the same movie as me? Like, we both saw Suicide Squad, right? The Suicide Squad, with the one with the Will Smith and
Margot Robbie.
all that shit, and they put Harley Quinn in some booty shorts and shit. We watched that same movie, right? No, Jack Nicholson's Joker, I think, was an inspired choice. Jack Nicholson has always been able to play good, intense, crazy parts, and
always.
I feel like he was perfect casting for that. Almost typecasted, because looking back on it now, I was like, well, yeah, of course they made Jack Nicholson the Joker. Like, who else would you have got from that time period to play the Joker? Like, of course it was going to be him. He was in The Shining. Like, why would you not get the dude from The Shining to be fucking the Joker? Like, of course.
It's like getting the dude that plays the Joker to be Chucky. I mean,
exactly. No, I just really feel like, all in all, that movie, it gets some undue shit, but I feel like it is one of my like top 10 favorite movies of all time.
Oh,
for like a multitude of different reasons. I love the cheese in it. Like, some of the shit's dumb and corny. I mean, like the fact that Batman can't turn his head and has to turn his entire body left to right. Like, it's just all a part of the character to me at that point. Like,
but he didn't have bat nipples, so
that is very true. That is very true. And I will even go so far as to defend Batman Returns, too. I love that movie not as much as Batman 89.
That one's actually T-Money's favorite.
But it's a close second. Like, there's a lot of shit in that movie that I love as well. Like, Catwoman licks his face, man. Like, that my dick was hard when I didn't even know what dick hard even meant at that point.
You'd be like 6 years old and be like,
pretty much. I was like,
Mama,
there's some funny tingling in my balls right now, and I don't know what's happening. My pants are growing.
Why is my birdie all sticking out?
Right. Is that what kids call it? A birdie?
I know several people that they refer to it as a bird.
All right. So when they hear people say flipping the bird, like, what do kids think that mean? They're like, oh, you throwing your dick across the room? Flipping the bird.
Hey, I went to an old lady's house one time. She was one of my clients, and she referred to hers as a dirty bird. So I'm like, not her penis. She didn't have one of those, but
I had so many questions. I was like, wait, what?
She referred to her pussy as a dirty bird.
Okay.
And I was like, that is the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Agreed.
So I don't know what the obsession with calling it a bird is, but
yeah.
I'm sure my sister-in-law can tell you. That's what her son calls it.
Okay.
And he's like 4, so I don't know.
Anyway, on another note, so happy birthday, Batman 89. We love you. You have brought many hours of entertainment to me as a child.
And as an adult.
Yep, and as an adult. And you did one thing that no other movie can ever say that it done.
Always makes me not depressed.
That too. But you turned me on to Prince. So, I was fucking 5 years old. Like, what do you think I was listening to Prince albums back then?
I was.
No, man.
My mama was big into 80s music, though. So, like, Michael Jackson.
I didn't even
Prince
know barely what music was. All I knew
God.
is I liked the songs in Batman 89 when I was a kid. And then as I grew up, I learned who Prince was and that he did the album. And the rest is history at that point. But yes, Batman 89 turned me and probably a lot of other people on.
Probably so. He had a big album that was a big influence.
Oh, yeah. And another thing, Batman 89 made superheroes cool again, and I think helped lay the foundations to make studios believe that superhero movies can be profitable and can be a good investment.
I want to thank Batman 89 for making Batman not suck.
Making Batman great again.
I didn't want to go there.
We're gonna make this Batman movie, and it's gonna be huge. It's gonna have big wings, and we're gonna get Jack Nicholson to play the Joker.
No. Like,
And if you think this movie's gonna fail, it's fake news.
oh my God. I'm going to
gonna
punch
be
you across
huge.
the table.
It's gonna be huge.
Dude. No, but like we had said, Adam West was Batman.
Yes.
So that corny bat fingers over the eyes and weird like peace signs and shit. No. That was
Doing a bat with Tootsie.
no.
Holy leather bottom dancing shoes, Batman.
And we got a cool bat signal out of it.
Oh yeah, no, and we're
Yeah.
forgetting the most important part.
Oh.
Besides Jack Nicholson, besides Michael Keaton, besides Tim Burton making it, besides making Batman cool again, even besides turning me on to Prince, the best thing that came out of that movie was that fucking Danny Elfman score.
Yes.
That is the definitive
Oh my
Batman
God.
song. They've had other Batman themes that have come out over the years that have been okay. I like the Dark Knight one okay. Like that one is pretty alright. But that bullshit they did in Batman vs Superman, that dun 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 dun. I'm like, what is it? You're just slamming on the keyboard. No, that dun 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 dun. That is Batman. When I hear that, anybody that hears that, unless there's two themes in the whole world that I think anybody would know what it was with no context.
Batman and Star Wars.
Two superhero themes that you would know no matter what it was. It's Superman's theme and Batman's theme.
Yes.
Spider-Man from the Sam Raimi movies is arguable because that one's pretty iconic too, but Superman and Batman are the two most recognizable like themes of anything. So anytime anybody hears that, they know that that's Batman. And so much so to where when they came out with Justice League, they reused the Batman theme in that movie from
Yes,
the
they
89 Batman. So I'm like, come on, man. Like, you can't go wrong with that. Like that. I mean, even the composer, like, I forgot the guy's name, that German dude who does all the Christopher Nolan movies or whatever. He even was like,
You're asking the wrong person here.
Hans Zimmer. He even said like, that is the Batman theme. Like, that is Batman. Like, I'm not putting together nothing else. We're not reusing shit from Batman vs Superman. 89 Batman is the Batman theme. Period.
It's a good thing that they're both owned by Warner Brothers because
Yeah, I know.
they'd have copyright laws flying at them.
Oh, hell yeah. And I'm sure Hans Zimmer was like, oh, man, that's an easy fucking paycheck for me. He's like, man, just put that 89 Batman tape in and let that shit play. He's like, oh, look what I composed for y'all. Yeah, go ahead. Y'all can use that.
All right.
But anyway, happy birthday, Batman 89.
Happy birthday.
We appreciate you.
Yes, we do.
And please, 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 for the love of God, somebody at Warner Brothers, anybody that's listening to this that is in Hollywood that has any kind of connections to Warner Brothers or somebody's agent or somebody, suck whoever dick you gotta suck, blackmail whoever you gotta blackmail, kidnap whoever you gotta kidnap, but do not miss this golden opportunity of using Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne in the Batman Beyond movie. Please make this shit happen. He is like the perfect age to do it now.
Yes.
Do not miss it, because if y'all in 10 years make one and he's dead or some shit, I'm going to be pissed the fuck off, because this is the OG Batman in film, and you still have him around acting today. He even said he would come back and do it again.
Multiple times.
I mean, granted, he wouldn't be out playing Batman no more. He'd just be old Bruce, but still, he wants to do it. Cut him whatever check you got to cut. Y'all gave Zack Snyder like $1 billion to just piss all over Batman and Superman for 2 movies, and then gave Joss Whedon half of that to piss on it some more. Give this man the money. Make whatever deal you got to make. Make this shit happen. Please. Okay, I'm done ranting.
It never fails. You two always find a way to bring Batman 89 into almost every episode. At least there's a point to it this time.
friend contact. Bim, 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 bim. I am your host, as always, Mike C Squared, and with me is A Train. We are going to do a review of the newest season of Black Mirror, and if you can't guess, I will give you a hint. It involves video games. We are going to review the episode Striking Vipers. And right off the bat, we are big fans of Black Mirror.
Mm-hmm.
We've watched every season up until this point. Yeah, we've seen every episode since the
first season.
Yeah, God, that first episode where the British politician dude has to fuck the pig. Remember that one?
Oh my God, I hated that episode.
That was like the first one we ever watched. Yeah,
I hated that episode.
So we are definitely fans of Black Mirror, and we've had some ups and downs with it. Most of the episodes each season we enjoy. There's a couple stinkers. I wouldn't say stinkers per se.
There's some. It's been like there have been some that I really like and you don't like, or we both really like the episode, or we both really hate the episode.
I don't think there's been one yet that we both hated. You did not care for Bumblebus, Bandersnatch,
Banderbitch.
Yeah, A Train was not a fan.
That was not Black Mirror.
Yeah, no, she didn't care for that one at all. But that being said, though, if you haven't joined us for one of our movie and or TV reviews, what we normally do is we do them mullet style, where there's non-spoilers in the front and spoilers at the back. But for this one, we're going to just go ahead and just openly talk about it because it is just an hour-long episode. It's been out for a bit now, so most people have probably seen it. But if you haven't seen it, I highly encourage you to go watch this current season of Black Mirror. There's only 3 episodes. They're about like an hour and some change long. So
about an hour and a half.
Yeah, you could binge like the whole thing in like an afternoon. So, it's not much of a time commitment. I want to get into this one because there's a lot of stuff that I wanted to talk about with this one. So, just give me your general feelings about it. We won't rate it just yet, but we will give I'm curious just to know your first reactions, because we just watched this 15 minutes ago, if that
maybe
long?
like a half hour ago.
Yeah, so I mean it's still really fresh. So what were your thoughts about it?
I liked the episode. It was a different kind of scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a lot of questions, like what?
Sure.
Like it was a different episode.
Okay.
But it was good. I liked it.
Yeah. I'm gonna echo what you just said. I got a lot of questions. There's a lot of things that are brought up there where I'm just like, wow, like there's so many possibilities. And but no, I did enjoy it as well too. Overall, I liked it. I liked the character dynamics between the 3 main characters. I liked the dialogue in it. I thought it was well made, and it was done in a way to where it wasn't disrespectful to any group, because it does touch on a lot of topics with, blackmail, male friendship, the relationship dynamics between, men, like who's the alpha, who's the beta,
between a husband and a wife.
Right. Marriage, family, homosexuality, trans, phobia to a degree. A lot of stuff. So I definitely really wanted to talk about this one. I would like to review the other 2 episodes from this season, but I don't know if we'll get to them right away. But this one I wanted to immediately talk about because there was a lot of stuff I wanted to say. The relationship dynamic they have at the beginning, the husband and wife, like their relationship is like life goals for me. Like it was so cute how like he approaches her at the bar and he's like, yeah, I saw you over here. Like, I'm gonna order you a drink. And, he orders her the vodka sidecar or some shit like that. And she's like, how do you know I like that? I would want a vodka sidecar. And he's like, well, let's just say I know what you like. And it's all like, oh shit, you got some game. And then you find out that they're already a couple and shit. is Carl, the best friend. He comes over and he's with the chick that he's with at that moment, and you know, he introduces them as a couple and all that. And she's like, "Oh, you know, that little role play thing that you did was sweet." Which it wasn't until after the episode was over that I was like, okay, so he was already into some kind of role play kind of thing prior to the whole video game.
Yeah.
Now the whole premise behind this is that the trio of them have been friends for well over a decade at this point.
I said in the beginning it goes from the present day to 11 years in the future.
Yeah. And they all have known each other for this whole time. Like, Anthony Mackie's character and Carl, they've kind of drifted apart some over time, but they still remain friends, and he pops up every now and then. But for the most part, they have this kind of distance between them.
Yeah.
And I love the scene at the beginning where he talks him into coming over and playing a game with him. And I know that feeling. Like, me and one of my best friends from back in the day, we used to just play this game called Bloody Roar. And it was basically a fighting game, and you could like turn into animals and fight and all this kind of shit. But I know that feeling of playing the game with your boy for like hours on end, and just like, oh, I gotta go to work, or I gotta go to bed, or whatever. He's like, no, come on, one more game. Like, I viscerally understand that dynamic between friends, because that was me and him for like years. Like, we would just blow whole days playing the game, like nonstop, over and over and over. Maybe we might break for food, but other than that, just game. And you don't necessarily have that kind of relationship with like video games.
No.
I'm like, A-Train's not a gamer.
I can play until my attention gets lost.
Yeah, pretty much. Which, give it about a good 10 minutes. And she's like, yep, no, I'm done with this. I'm bored now.
That's... Yeah.
There are some games that you get into more than others, but for the most part, you're definitely not like excited to play any game or anything.
No,
like
not
that.
really. I have to be in the mood for it, or exhaust all other options first.
Right. So, when they did do the 11-year time jump at the beginning, it was kind of jarring, because I was like, shit, like, what? Where is this going?
Quickly.
Yeah, I know. I was like, okay, like, what was... And at the time, I didn't understand what the point was of setting up the beginning with him and his girlfriend at the bar, and them doing a little role play thing, and showing him and his best friend playing video games together. I didn't understand why the filmmakers felt it was important to show that at the beginning. If we were just going to jump to 11 years later, I was like, so why was that important? But as the episode goes on, you realize, like, okay, they're setting up they're giving the foundation to these relationships, and it kind of justifies some of the stuff that happens later in the episode. Now, the fact that he had to grill at his own birthday party was fucked up. Because somebody makes an offhand comment about, like, oh, you know, how old are you turning? And he's like, oh, 38. And he's like, oh, almost dead, or something like that. And you can tell even then, like, he's kind of over the whole family life and all that. And, like, she introduces her husband, and he's like, so you like bikes, huh? And he's like, yeah, so, like, motorcycle or bikes? And he's like, bikes. And he's like, oh.
Can I just go be alone now?
Right, like, can I just put my face in this fucking grill and just kill me right now? That's basically his whole attitude during the whole birthday party. And
pretty much through the whole episode.
Kind of to a degree. You can tell he's very withdrawn from people.
Well, his wife makes a comment about that.
Right, but in the beginning, he's not like that. He's become that way over time.
Yeah.
And I feel that this did a good job of it kind of made family life look fucking miserable. Like, seriously, like, having like a wife and kids and shit, like, they made this look like this was like the worst case scenario you could have. I mean, yes, it had its bright
Thanks,
sides.
Black Mirror.
Right. It had its bright sides to it as well, but for the most part, it kind of felt like this was a commentary on his lost youth, you know, in vigor, because he's like, oh, you know, I got this fucked up knee, and I don't go hang out and, party like I used to and all this other kind of shit. And their sex life is kind of going down the drain. And now they only pretty much fuck to try and get pregnant and shit. And it's like, wow, that's exciting. Like, that seems terrible. But, you can still see hints of his former self in his character, because the one lady who comments about his age, she catches him looking at her ass and shit when she's over there with the kids, and he's like burning up their burgers and shit because he's too busy staring at this bitch, and it's like
very distracted.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you might want to go check on that maybe. And then Carl shows up at the birthday party, which they haven't seen each other in a year.
Yeah.
That they established. And I get also having a friendship like that is hard when you've kind of settled down and, you've kind of become not complacent, but you've kind of gotten to like a routine with your life and, you don't really deviate from that much, but you have your friend who's like this bachelor and he can kind of just, flaunt his single life. And he's like, oh, look at these bitches I'm fucking on my phone. And, I work for a record label and this, or he owns a record label. I don't know.
Something.
He got money to some kind of degree because you saw his apartment.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Shit. And, his futuristic ass pinball machine, which looked really cool, by the way.
It just looked like a standard pinball machine.
No, but it was all digital.
It had lights in it.
No, it was digital. It was like a hologram. Because you even commented on like, oh, that's cool. Because none of it was actually
I
there.
thought it was cool because he had a pinball machine in his house.
No, it was just like a flat screen, and then all the shit was like a hologram that was just shown above it. There was no actual ball or handles or anything. So yeah, there's that.
He was pushing the buttons.
Yeah, he was pushing the button, but there was no flaps that were actually hitting anything. It was all digital. The controls he was using was real, but everything on the screen was fake. Anyway, regardless of the point, I get, because we are not married, but we've been together for quite some time now, and we've kind of not settled down per se, but it's like we have a home, and we don't go do crazy shit all the time. We still go out occasionally on the weekends and stuff like that, but I know what it's like to still have people in your life who aren't like that, and it's like every day for them is some kind of adventure and shit, and they're always telling you about how crazy their life is, and you're just kind of like, yeah, that's cool, and you get that like little tinge of jealousy, like, yeah, you don't have to, rub the shit in my face. You can just go like, yeah, it's all good. You're making a face. A-Train's making a face at me.
Yeah, I am.
She's like, oh, what, you want to go out and hang out and fuck these bitches? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, it just seems like you're having fun. Not that we don't have fun. I'm digging a hole.
He's digging a big hole. Let's get off this topic.
It was cool to see their interactions together, because you saw him open up more once his friend came around. Like, he was very withdrawn from everybody else at the birthday party, but when Carl came, he got to be more himself, which I thought that was cool. Then we jumped to Carl's out on a date with the 28-year-old that he was showing him on his phone, and he's making fun of the bartender at the restaurant that they're at, and he's telling her that he looks like Dennis Rodman. And the girl, she like looks over at the dude, and she pulls out her phone and she Googles him, and she's like, oh, he's a basketball player, right? And he's like, yeah. And it was just kind of showing how, or just establishing how, even though he's living this quote unquote dream, that he doesn't relate to, these people or these women that he's been with.
Yeah.
Either because of the age gap between them, or because on a experience and life level, they don't have much in common.
Yeah.
Besides, they're just both attractive people.
Yeah.
And they don't relate in any kind of way beyond that. I did like the establishment of going from Anthony Mackie's relationship with his wife, and how, they're trying to have a baby, but it's like they're both like, oh, I'm not really feeling it. I'm tired, this, that, and the other. And then they jump cut to Carl, and he's like fucking the shit out this girl, and he's all sweaty and winded and shit. And it's just like, kind of showing the juxtaposition of their two lives and how different they are. Because that was one of the things that I thought was interesting, because in real life, Carl was more of the alpha male in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And Anthony Mackie's character, which I feel horrible. I cannot remember his character's name for shit. Danny? Was it Danny?
Yeah.
Okay. So Danny.
His wife called him Daniel.
Yeah, Danny, he's more like the beta of the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's more subdued and kind of, chill and now, Carl, geez, I was going to call him Jared. And Carl, he's more of like the outgoing, very extroverted of the two. But once they got into the game, the roles kind of switched.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really interesting too. I want to talk about the video game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's basically like a Tekken kind of ripoff, pretty much, or whatever. They call it Striking Vipers, but it looks like a Street Fighter Tekken type game, something like that. That is literally the dopest video game ever. Like and I get it. It's made to be more fantastical because it is, a movie or a show or whatever. But just how they explain how the game works, you can go into it and like all of his physical limitations with his bad knee and all that doesn't matter.
No.
They can jump and do combos, and even if they get beat the shit out of when the next round starts, it all resets.
Yeah.
And it's like
no matter how
happened.
bad they get hurt.
So you couldn't even kill each other in the game.
No.
And I thought that was really cool, establishing that world. And that first fight, which is the only fight actually, because everything after that they just fuck. But that first fight, the fight choreography in the game, like the battles were awesome. Like all the little special effects and the speed ramping and like showing like fireballs when they would punch each other and that kind of shit. I was like, all that shit was really cool. And it reminded me a lot, and I said this when we were watching it, of Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah.
Like that. It felt like that whole movie just like shrank down to just like a little 2-minute, fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was really cool. And I thought that that's what this would be about.
No.
But knowing it's Black Mirror, there's always some kind of twist into some fucked up shit. And it's just like, oh, okay. Because it doesn't take long, but it takes a major turn when they're fighting and tussling on the ground, and then they just start making out.
Yeah.
And like me and you both looked at each other and was like, what is happening? Like, okay, this is not where I thought this was going at all. Because this has been out for a bit, and I've seen people talking about it or like making reference to it, but I've tried to do my best to stay away from that because I hadn't seen it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have it spoiled for me what the episode was actually about. And I was really fascinated by what happened because I was like, oh, like, okay. Now, I really, really appreciated Anthony Mackie's portrayal of Danny because he plays the character very well. You can tell how conflicted he is and how initially, like right after that happens, how he's questioning like what happened and how he feels about it, because there's no dialogue, but you can just see on his face like
it's very conflicted,
right? And you can see him like looking at like other women that are like going by, and he's like, well, like it almost has him painted on his face like, am I gay? Like what does this mean? Like it's he's questioning like his own desires and sexuality because of what happens in that. And I thought that was a really subtle yet profound, performance that he gave, because I could read all these emotions on his face without him actually saying anything.
Yeah.
And it was over the course of like a montage too, so that's pretty good. It's like I'm always curious like what the director says to an actor during that point. He's like, okay, now I need you to look confused. Look pensive. Like, okay. What did you think up to that point? Like when the kiss first happened, what was your initial reaction to that?
I was confused because I'm like, do they know what's going on in their real life, like outside of the game? Does it do they remember when the game ends? Like, I had a lot of questions.
Yeah. Now, as far as, because we're going to get to it here, but as far as like emotionally, like what were you upset at Anthony Mackie's character for that, or did you feel like he betrayed his wife somehow, or
I was questioning if that's considered
real?
Cheating or not.
Yeah, because you asked that when we were
Yeah,
watching.
I'm like,
is this considered cheating?
Because some people would think it is,
mm-hmm.
and some people would be like, "Oh, it's just a game."
Right. And I think it kind of all comes down to like, would you consider it emotionally cheating?
Yeah.
Or does that matter to you? Like, if it's not physically happening, do you still care? Or because there's some kind of emotional attachment, does that make it different? And I think that's kind of what it came down to.
Because they're emotionally invested in it.
Yes. I liked how when they do come back afterwards and they're like, hey man, you know, they both are like playing it off like nothing happened, and oh man, I was drunk from the birthday party. Yeah, me too. And then they immediately start fucking as soon as they get into the game. They don't even like put up like a front, like, oh yeah, we gonna come in here and fight. Like they immediately start fucking again, and it's like, oh okay. And at that moment, I had so many questions about the game. Now, the show did try to do a pretty decent job of explaining how it works, but so these are some of the things that I thought of when we were watching it. One, what is it like a man playing as a woman and having sex?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what does that feel like for him? And they do kind of touch on it about how it's more amplified, because, you know, I don't know because I'm not a woman, but they say that sex is a different, it is a more rewarding experience for women and more satisfying as opposed to it is for a man because of how we're made. And I don't know as far as like nerves and sensations and stuff like that, but sex, as far as orgasms and all that kind of shit, are supposed to be more explosive and more overall enjoyable, I guess, for a woman than it is for a man.
I'm not a man, so I have nothing
to
compare it to.
I don't know one way or another, but I'm just like, okay, that's interesting. And then also it started making me question stuff, which they do bring up later. I'm like, can he fuck the computer? Like, does it have to be another person? Can he just do that? Can he fuck other players? Like, can you have like multiple online players that you can do this with? Is it the same? Like, would other people do that with you? And
he answered all those questions.
Yeah, and eventually they go into all that stuff, and I was just like, wow, that's crazy. And then it started making me question, could you kill somebody in the game? Because as far as the fighting goes, you know, the rounds don't matter, but if you can do anything you want while you're in the game, then why not? And also, when you orgasm and shit, do you actually do that in real life? Does it just give you the stimulation of an orgasm, but you're not actually like waking up with jizz all in your boxers?
I don't know.
Like, I just had so many questions. I'm curious though as to what the dynamic between them is. Like, is it considered gay? Because they even ask, like, are we gay now? Or is this like, is it like deeper than sexuality at that point? Because they keep making a point to say like, oh, nothing else compares to it.
Yeah.
Like the sex is like transcendent and this, that, and the other and yada, yada, yada. And it seems like when they are in the game together, that's all they do is have sex. Like, they're just going on adventures and shit. You know, they just fuck. So, is it because... But at the same time, you know, he says, like, it's not the same with other people.
Exactly.
Like he even has that line, which is my favorite line in anything ever. He's like, I fucked a polar bear and I still can't get over you. Like, that was hilarious. And it just makes me wonder, like, what do you think it was for them? Like, because it seems like for Carl, you know, because he's the first one to say it, Carl loves Danny.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if that transfers over to their real life, because when they kiss at the end, they're like, I don't feel anything.
No, they didn't
like
feel like that. Same. No.
So, like, what do you think it was for Carl?
probably just being like a different person in the game. Like he was able to live out some sort of fantasy.
Okay.
And that was exciting for him.
Because I think though that that this is making some kind of commentary on like trans people and like black male sexuality and perhaps even porn addiction and stuff like that. Like I feel like this is making some commentary on all those things. You know, I'm not sure what it's trying to say, or maybe it's just bringing up these questions like, well, what is sexuality? Like what does that even mean? You know, it's like, yes, he is not attracted to him as a man, but as a woman, he is. And it's like, you know, and not necessarily that Carl wants to be a woman per se, but enjoys the feeling of being a woman. Like, it was really fascinating. And I'm kind of bummed that we don't have anyone in our personal life who's either transsexual or homosexual that we could actually bring in and talk to about this as well. But for anybody who is listening to this, if you hear this and you are a trans person or homosexual, please, I would love to you to leave a comment or contact us, because I'm really curious as to what the LGBTQ community feels about this and like what their takeaway from this episode was. Because I can't speak to that as a straight male. So I don't want to misrepresent anything. So I'm really curious as to how your community takes it. Yeah. With that though, I don't know if it was a thing of because he was a female in the game or not, but I found it interesting that when they're in the game, Carl is much more submissive to Danny than it is in real life. In real life, Danny's, you know, the submissive one, and he's kind of like the pushover, and Carl's very in your face.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it was because he was a woman.
Maybe.
And also, did he initially choose that in the first place? Like, had he done it as a man with someone else before and then tried it as a woman and decided he liked that better? Or did he go in from the beginning and like, I want to be a woman? I want to experience this as a woman.
So I don't think he had played the game. He had demoed it in the store.
That's what he told him.
True.
Because that was another thing I wanted to talk about. He tells him when he first gives him the game, oh, it was just a demo. I did it in the store for like 5 minutes and it was crazy, yada, yada, yada. But the moment they get into the game, he's like, they're making out and shit. And it was like, did he even know that they could even do that beforehand?
Unless he bought himself one at the same time and then went home and played it before they were able to play together.
Yeah. And because I'm really curious, like, did he know that they could have sex in the game with each other?
I don't know.
Before he gave him the game or before Danny started playing? Like, was this always Carl's intention? Because Carl is the one that makes the first move in the game. I mean, granted, they're on top of, or Carl's on top of Danny, and Danny's kind of like holding Carl's ass and shit. And then Carl goes in for the kiss. So, yeah, I'm just curious, like, when this all went down, did Carl always know that?
I'm
because
not sure.
He even goes out of his way to give him the VR thing so they can play together. Now, granted, if they were going to play, he would have to have that anyway, but he was like making it a point like, no, I got this so you can come in this and do this with me.
Yeah. We'll never know.
Yeah, I guess not. I did feel really bad for his wife throughout this, though.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was really heartbreaking, like, when she confronts him, because she knows something is wrong.
Yeah.
And when they're at that dinner, and she's just like, what is it? Like, is it me? Like, are you not happy? Are you seeing somebody else? And he's like, no, this, that, and the other. And we know as an audience, like, okay, he might not be cheating in the quote-unquote traditional way, but he is having an affair to some degree or another with his best friend.
Yeah.
And it was really sad because, you know, she tells him, like, you know, there was some dude trying to fuck me, like, right before you got here, and I shut that shit down Because I'm like, no, but then fast forward to the end with what happens with her, and it's just kind of like, oh, all right, well, I guess everybody wins, I guess, to some degree, because she says, like, I just wanted I need some passion in my life. So she's kind of going through the same thing that Danny's going through, where it's like she's not necessarily fully happy with the way her life has turned out, and it's kind of become mundane and boring, and she wants some excitement and shit like that, and something to spice her life up, so to speak. And I thought that was interesting, that they just didn't make her just the helpless victim in this. Like, she has her own motivations as well. I did think that there were some funny moments throughout this, because when Danny tells Carl, like, okay, we're breaking this shit off. Like, this is wrong to my wife. Like, I can't keep doing this. Like, we're done. And he's like, oh man, come on. He was like, well, how about, the first Sunday every month or some shit like that, which I think that's actually what they end up doing.
No, it was like a Friday.
Okay, was it? Okay.
It was the middle of the week.
Okay, I got you.
Or maybe
and they had
it's his birthday.
Yeah, because we don't know that, because they don't give us more information that we don't know if they set this up to do it once a year, once a month. Like, we're not really sure how it all goes down. But it does happen. We know that. When she invites Carl over and they have that little confrontation at the dinner, like, that was like so intense, and it just made me feel so uncomfortable for Danny, because he's like, yes, I understand and I do share your feelings about this, but I'm trying to suppress that because I have a family and a life that I've built, and I love my wife, and I don't want to lose or leave her. But he's torn because, Carl is being much more pushy about it, but Danny is in agreement with him. He's like, because he does go there and they hook up. Like, he's like at midnight and they do it. So it's not like he's like, oh, fuck you in this bullshit. He acts like that, but at the end, he's sitting there watching his phone, waiting for it to hit midnight. So, I
think he was trying to ignore it, but
he couldn't. He couldn't deny what they shared, even though it wasn't. That's the thing. Even though it's not, quote unquote, what we would consider real, it's real to them.
Exactly.
And I thought that was really, really interesting. I want to know what the multiplayer orgies looked like. Because he says, when he's telling Danny, like, he's been trying to get over him and this shit, he's like, oh, I fucked the computer players, I fucked other players, I've been in multiplayer orgies and this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, are people just buying this game just to fuck? Because I'm like, are people actually playing this to play it? Or is it just like, now I'm gonna go here and get some polar bear pussy? Like, I'm like that's what I'm about. Fuck all the bullshit. I don't and I don't know how that will work. It's just like, you get a bunch of like avatar characters that are just in a room, and it's like fighting. Everybody just pull their dicks and pussies out and just get the fucking. Like, is that how it goes down? Which I thought that was fun. Like, that they do address all those little possibilities and things that could happen, because it is a video game. I don't know why, but Danny has a specific shirt that he wears,
his birthday shirt,
every year for his birthday. Because if you go back and watch this, and I promise you, we're not even bullshitting, go back and watch the episode, skip to each part where they have his birthday. He has 3 birthdays throughout the course of this. Every year he's wearing that same blue, like, it's not a polo or a button down, it looks more like kind of like a bowling shirt almost, like, if you know what I mean. It has like the kind of
it's just a collared. It's just a collared shirt.
Yeah, but it's not like a dress shirt per se.
No, it looks like it's made out of silk or something.
It's like that dad shirt. Like, you trust me, you know what I'm talking about when you see it. You'll be like, oh, that shirt. He wears that every year for his birthday. And that's why it kept throwing me off at times, because I was like, wait, when is this? Is this a flashback? And it's like, no, okay, because they'd show the kids getting older and all that. I'm like, okay, so this is progressing forward in time. Because I'm like, do he just dust this shit off every year? Like, it's time for the old birthday shirt. Like, I guess. Now, by the end, it seems like the 3 of them have negotiated something out to where they basically are giving each other a hall pass.
Yeah.
Where Danny and Carl get to go into the game and do their thing, and then the wife gets to go out and go fuck around with some random person at the bar. Now, it was, at least I didn't get a good look at the guy. A-Train says that it was the same guy from earlier.
It looked like him.
Or maybe she's just picking up just some dude in general at the bar. Who knows? And this is what I'm really interested in. A-Train, the first words out of her mouth was, "That's fucked up." Now, I want you to explain what made you angry about how this ended.
Well, okay, so I'll explain. It seemed like the only way that their marriage would work is if they made this agreement. Like, you get to continue doing this game, and I get to go fuck around with someone in real life. Like, I get to go have my own little fantasy.
Right.
Like,
right.
you see her take off her wedding ring and
Yeah,
everything.
she
So
got
she
a
pretended.
nice, sexy dress on.
So she
pushed all over
pretended
her
like she
chin.
don't even have a husband.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know, because when his shit is, like, emotionally cheating, hers is, like, full on everything.
Right.
But maybe she's not getting emotionally vested, so, I don't know, I just feel like...
Well, I mean...
Plus, it's some stranger, too.
Sure, but you could argue, just play devil's advocate, you could argue that Danny's thing is a physical thing, too, because, you can't have... These motherfuckers was, like, flying through walls fucking each other and shit. Like, you can't do that in real life. So it's like, when the last time you had sex on the streets of Tokyo against a glass to a store window and shit?
Never even been to Tokyo.
It's like, you can't just do that, in your regular everyday life. So, or fuck somebody on top of a skyscraper in the middle of Japan somewhere. Like, that's not something that you can just do normally.
No.
So, I could see how the argument could be made that they're both getting something physical from it, but I think that it's a little bit more than just physical for Danny and Carl, though.
Yeah.
Like, maybe she's just getting physical satisfaction and no emotional, or maybe just the emotional satisfaction of being wanted by somebody again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it seemed, at least, that making this agreement was good for their marriage.
Yeah, they seemed happier.
Because by no means, we are not judgmental of anybody's relationship dynamics. We understand that there are swinger couples, there are open relationship couples, there's cuckold couples, there's all kind of shit like that. So whatever you do in the privacy of your home between you and your significant other that makes you happy is your business, and we do not judge. So I'm open to the idea of having that dynamic between a couple. It was just weird because it's like, well, it's his best friend and it's in a video game.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that I thought was interesting. So, also, if there are any open relationship and or swinger couples that may listen to the podcast, I would love to know what your feelings are about how this ended. Like, do you think it's okay that she gets a hall pass to go sleep with strangers in real life, whereas Danny is not actually doing anything with anyone really? Yes, he feels it, but...
And it's just with one person.
Right. Is it different because it's his friend? Is it different because it's a man as a woman in a video game? Is it different because it's a video game? Like, I'm really curious to know, like, if you are a couple who doesn't have traditional monogamous relationship, what would your feelings be about something like this? Because... And there are still some rules to it, though, too.
Oh, yeah.
Because he can only do it once a month or once a year. We're not sure. They just show that one instance. And she says to him, I want this back in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
So...
He doesn't have control over it. Like, he doesn't have possession over it every single day.
Right. And I guess that's their way of going, like, hey, if we're going to make our relationship and marriage still work... If you have access to this all the time, you will become withdrawn again and disinterested like you did before. So if you can only get it occasionally, then that'll still satisfy what you want that you're getting from the game, but you still won't lose interest in our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what made me think, like, this might be commenting on, like, porn addiction as well as, like, you know, like, trans and, like, homosexual issues and stuff like that, because it's so many things in one ball that I didn't have one takeaway from it. So, yeah, like, there's a lot of different dynamics to this and a lot of fascinating possibilities that they bring up. And, I mean, I really enjoyed this episode because... or in this series in general, because it is kind of sometimes an exaggerated look, but still a look of some kind into what our future may potentially become.
Mm-mm.
Even with that episode with Bryce Dallas Howard, with the whole, you know, social media app where if people don't like you, you know, you can't work certain places, you know, your social standing starts to go down.
Like the rating on Uber.
Exactly. It's like you're being rated, and those ratings on social media directly affects how the rest of the world treats you, all the way down to what kind of rides you can get, what kind of restaurants you can eat at, all that kind of shit. And, like, yes, it is exaggerated to a degree, but it's not completely out of the realm of reality.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, you know, VR is starting to become more prominent. It's not going to take over the world or no shit tomorrow, but it is becoming more and more common. And I feel that in our near future, maybe just in our lifetime, we may get to a point where striking vipers may be an actual thing. So I'm really interested what is going to happen.
There's going to be a surge in the elderly community for this kind of shit.
Hell yeah, shit. If I was 80 years old and you telling me I can do backflips like fucking Neo from the Matrix, and if you tell me that there is a way for me to do a somersault off a skyscraper balls deep into some fucking, I don't know, anything, I would do it. Yes. I wouldn't even be doing this podcast no more. I would just be drooling with my eyes grayed out on the couch right now. So we're going to go ahead and give our ratings for this one. Now it goes really fucking hated it, meh, liked it, and really fucking liked it. A-Train, what would you rate Striking Vipers?
I think it was a liked it, just because I do have so many questions that didn't get answered.
Okay.
Like this easily could have been like a 2-hour episode.
I wanted more too, yeah.
So they could have done a lot more and more explanation.
But to argue that though, shouldn't that make it better because you wanted more of it?
I guess, yeah.
I mean, not to change
There's
the rating.
been a lot of episodes like that too, where it's ended and you're like, oh, that's it.
One of my favorite ones was the one with
the aging.
With the child molester one.
Oh,
with the
okay.
Kid porn where the kid has to rob the bank and all that. Yeah. And you find out he's been watching kid porn. Like, I would watch a whole movie of just this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was crazy. But, okay. But still, though. I mean, I was just curious. I mean, not to change your answer or try to challenge it or anything. So I liked it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to say really fucking liked it. Because of your same reasoning. Because there were so many questions, because I wanted more, I feel like that's gives it a higher grade in my book, because I'm like, you did enough in the time that you had my attention to challenge my thoughts about things and make me really question things that I probably never would have questioned on my own, to where it's like, I want to see where this goes from here and I want to learn more about this world. So that in and of itself, and to tell a story that good in that short amount of time, yeah, I really fucking liked it. Well, thanks for staying with us and listening to our review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, or again, I'm putting the call out there. Anyone who is in any of these communities who may have been represented in some kind of way in this, I would love to get your feedback, because I'm really curious what your thoughts are about this. Thanks for joining us for this review, and we will see you next time. That is it for the show. Remember, you can always find us at our home, onegiantleapforgeeks.libsyn.com. We are also on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or anywhere else you get your podcast. Make sure to show us some love, so go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe, rate, follow, review, and all that shit.
And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or criticisms, or you just want to say hi, you can always email us at officiallogofg@gmail.com. You can also find us on Twitter at GiantLeap4Geeks. We are on Facebook, Reddit, Instagram. Myself, you can catch me on Twitter at FroggyBeaver. And Benoit, who is not here with us, is on Twitter at Benoit Gaming. That's BENWAH Gaming. All right, you guys have a good night. Bye.